Hey, you guys, welcome. Welcome to Sunday Subversion. Look at this over my head. See that? Is that a good lighting or not? It's not in the best of lighting. Let me bring it back here. It's a night painting that I'm doing, and it's about done. I filled the bottom part of here with, made it look like the street was flooded over, so we get a nice reflection of it. It's pretty cool, huh? I just have to put the name Lottie Da, and there's another couple little names and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm not just totally goofing off. But that's what I do. I paint. All right. And last night went to an AIDS Help fundraiser. I don't think they call it that anymore. I think they're calling it AH. It used to be AIDS Help. Now it's called affordable housing. It's just strange. But anyhow, I was painting a picture. It was someone has a photograph of a marina, and he's running for King Fantasy Fest this year. And so he had this giant picture made up. I got to pick it out, but what I did is I picked a very dark painting. Like it was just whatever, just dark, like a afternoon or late afternoon or early morning type of picture. And so I look at that as like the dark phase, the lower level of a painting. And then I just have to put the second, which is the color, and then a highlight. And I did that in front of a bunch of people, and we made almost $6,000 worth of money off the crowd in like 4 hours. It was pretty cool. Well, anyways, today's class is about faith and the works. All right. I just want to get a piece of it in there. Now, these are two separate things that lead to the same, kind of the same conclusion if you knew what to look for. So, faith is basically, that when we find that all of religions are the same, basically. They just are packaged differently. That means what you can see on the outside, but on the inside is this code. So there is still only one way to get to these places, and in this particular place is what are we going to do to bring God into our life? All right, and and there is a particular way that we do it. And, and this brings about, this way and that way and another way and this way and this way. That does not represent one way. It represents what we call the baker. And that's somebody who's just making it up. And there's plenty of that going on. But if you follow the Bible and you do what you're supposed to do, that your works is to be a part of religion. The first part of this, the faith part, is what you're doing to follow God, and you're just being taken advantage of here, because when you think that you're connecting with God, and and that God and all these things are already connected to you, well, that's the misnomer in this, is that we're trying to obtain God. We're trying to get God to come and dwell with us. That's what we're looking for. Because we find out when we read our Bibles that God is not with anyone, that you have to make this place inside of you for him to dwell. And that's the whole point of going through religion. You wouldn't know that unless you went through religion and you learned that, hey, we need to find him. We've got to search for this guy. So until we learn more about the works side of this, we're going to work on the faith side of things, because you just got to believe in this stuff, and you can go through this for a long time. This faith part, it takes a long time for people to build up this faith and things, and so and to actually fear God. And you have to do this the only way to come into this eye-opening experience is to have religion as the beginning source of this, hell. All right, because that's what it's representing. She and it and all of that is representing what's outside of us, what's on man's side. And it also is representing what is considered following after a father. And father is only one side of this dual called God. God is Elohim. God has both male and female side to them. But if you only got one side of those things and you don't even know who mother is, well, then there's our problem right there. And that sets us off on a goose chase. We'll be following father for a good long time. And father means that you're feeding from the lower mind. It's this lower mind, lower everything. Sodomites and all this thing, all these queer references, everything is coming towards the believer. The believer in faith is the one that all of these negative things are coming to, because you're worshiping God in vain and not knowingly worshiping the Father, and Father is Satan. Okay. Now, they make him out to be kind of bad. They make him out to be someone who brings you riches. He also can bring you down to poor. What he really does is he makes you poor because you are not connected to God. And so the way the stories work out is that, when Jesus comes in, we find out about the way. In the Old Testament, we hear about mother and father. And we're supposed to not understand that they're talking about the right and left sides of our brain. But we only have father, and mother doesn't even exist in us until we do the works. Now, that's next, Now, we can work off the top of the Bible for eons and eons. This is where we're learning to be ourselves, where that soul inside of us gets this chance to grow and be itself, to become itself. And all of its information is still being fed to the source, whether it's good or bad. And so if we're looking at these two sides of the coin as being teachers. So for a good long time, Father's got us. A real good long time, he's got us. And we are just growing our hair and having a great old time with him. But when it comes down to it, we are asked to join mother and father together. And if you didn't know what that was, then you're just going to be, we'll be following father forever. We want to bring something into the right side of our brain. We want to bring mother to life. And she is what connects the Elohim. That's what connects just mother and father together. And, we've spoke of this before. It's not hard to mention or bad to mention that when someone goes through this interior journey to connect to God, to bring father and mother together, this takes the lower mind, which is this side, the left side. It brings it up, and the higher side comes down. There's usually a wall between the two, which is what's the separation. This is the house that's divided, falls. This is the fallen angel. So when we're working out of one side of the mind, everything is on the lower side. Everything. That's the fallen angels. And, and what did these fallen angels do? Create religion, all right, and follow it. And that's the bitch and the whore. She's the outside representation. But you have to do what she tells. You got to follow this whore. It's part of the job. It's part of the works, okay? You have to do that first. It's going to give you an inkling as to how things are going to work. But anyways, we go into meditation and we, Father, send our child, our begotten child, not made, all right? He's begotten. It means he's thought up because he comes about by what we do with our thinking and how we think. It's what's really crazy. It's all inside of you. It's not what someone else thinks. It's not how you can't go to a church and have them go inside of you and turn the light on. You're the only one that can go inside here and turn the light on. You're the only one. And so that is what you get out of this, is that the works, after so long, you'll start to see there's more to this than meets the eye, okay? So anyways, I just thought I would give you a quick little lesson on what's the difference between faith and the works. And you cannot obtain one without the other. You cannot get God together unless you are following a religion. This does not just knock people on the head and say, hey, I'm going to take you. It's only for those people that truly believe in God and seek him. You just cannot get in there any other way. And this is the way it is. This is the God's honest truth. If when it comes down to it, it'll be everyone will see with their eye. Every eye will notice this Jesus coming in the air. But it's all about this eye. It's all about this. It's all about it, So if you don't believe this, you think it's New Age, well, consider yourself dead for another lifetime until you start figuring it out. All right? It's this idea that you are following Father. While you are in the grips of Father, you're in what they call a slumber mode. You just can't understand the damn thing I said. And you know what? It doesn't bother me. All right? This is for individuals that are looking to change their lives. Stop following Father and obey the law, honoring both mother and father. Now you're cooking with God. All right? Happy Sunday.